Break down. Everybody know what I'm trying to do now. Hold it down for my hometown. Profound when it comes to doing me because I do it easily and it pleases me. How? So focused, mind open. Behold, I'm in with a motive, soaking in a dap of my own ocean, hoping that the whole world gets a notion. I've been waiting for this minute for a minute, now I got it, I'm engulfed in a moment. Size mode, can't sugarcoat it. Beast mode, can't control it. Hold up, if you're looking for me right here, with a pen, I'm in here to make it all clear that I gotta do it bigger and better and piecing the puzzle together for the people that never have let up. So fed up with the bullshit, me too. Like the world got a vendetta against you. Ain't no superhero coming for the rescue unless you ask me to do it, then I bless you. But wait, never too late. Take a deep breath, let it all marinate. Because the second that I do, I embrace my fate and I gotta make a move because I am that great. All I want is all of y'all to ponder. A better man willing to take his dream farther, but all the other didn't even try to bother. Start up the engine until we restarted. Pardon me, moment doesn't happen often, so while we here, let's enjoy it and applaud it. Take a second before the night becomes morning and tell those in the trust I hear them calling. Mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I think they ready for me. I think they calling for me. I think they waiting for me. I hear them calling. I hear them calling for me. Mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I hear them calling. I remember when my days were so unsure, not knowing what I'm living on this earth for. Now I know that I am what I asked for. Plus more, representing Prince George for awards. Like the little nigga standing at the bus stop, scared cause he fears that he's near to a gun pop. Headphones in his head, disappears from this world for your peers in the realm of the hip hop. Just watch how we turn this whole life around. When everybody tried to tell him he was hellbound, but he smiles now, knowing he's the reason for the powwow. Bow down to
What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing today, all around the world? Listen, we are here. I'm here. It was a rough day. It's been a rough week. Okay, we can just go straight into it that way. It's been a rough week, so I'm sitting over here on the couch today, not feeling very well. So I didn't feel like sitting up in the high chair. I probably would have fallen off, and then you guys would have been laughing at me or something. So we're not gonna have none of that today, right? So, so I'm gonna go sit over here comfortably on the couch, right? And I'm also gonna see who comes in because today we're talking about breakfast in America, and how crazy it all is. But when we think about it, it's how America was founded. All kind of the same way. All right, so we're going to get into that. But like I said, my weekend, like, I don't even have, like, I feel like I didn't cook this weekend. I feel like I didn't do half of the things that I normally do. I just kind of, like, went with it. So it's probably why I'm not feeling well, like, stress and all. Like, just the weather was crazy, right? So Saturday, my car, like, stopped working on me, like, in the middle of the street. So I was stranded, like, damsel in distress and shit, right? But anyway, you know, the protective angels came around me and I was able to make it on my way. But my car my engine is blown, so I got to fix that and see what's going on. And so I didn't do a lot of my, you know, running around, a lot of things that I normally would do. It was crazy weekend. So as far as, like, the food, I did want to say, like, I did cook once. I had dinner, but, you know, I had dinner a time or two. We'll get into that in a minute. But also, I did want to say there is an update from, like, the Impossible Burger. All right, so they are really, really doing their thing with sticking to how they are trying to really just plant-based everything and help change America's way of thinking. So I'm loving those guys over there. They are actually going through, like, so in order for them, like, remember, their mission basically is to get their burger into as many places as possible that are everyday places that we eat. And so they've done that. Actually, just signed White Castle, and they have introduced the Impossible Burger to White Castle. So check this video out, guys. Take a look at it. Yeah, so like I said, I like that they put that together and put that cool little tune to it. I think I need to find something like that for the show. But anyway, not that What I Have Isn't Great by Dave Robb. He's awesome. So anyway, so yeah, they're in White Castle, but they have to go through like a rigorous process, regulation and laws that the company has to maintain. They come in, they check to make sure like that they're not cooked where beef patties or any other animal product is cooked and things of that nature, so that they're really hard on it. It's not like they can just, anybody can pick it up. They don't want their image tainted at all. So I love that about them as well. Super, super awesome. So people, and it's only starting in like you saw there in the clip, it's only starting in a few of the major cities first. So it should be coming to the Midwest soon, and all that good stuff. Jeff, don't worry about that because you're not where White Castle is. You'll be all right. We'll pick up the rest of the show. But so then thinking about it, too, I did cook one night. So I had put all this money in my car. I was like, oh, my gosh, you know, it's my turn to cook. I'm like, what am I going to cook? I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Safeway and see what's on sale. That's what dinner will be, right? So, but it was really cool, actually. I put some, they had some cod on sale. Sometimes, guys, this is the way you have to go. You have to, like, me going to a plant-based diet doesn't mean, like, I got money and I got some extra dough to spend on some, you know, on food. I'm not, like, living in luxury. Just want that to be known. So, you know, we do use stores that are, you know, a little friendly on the pockets, check places that have sales going on, membership discounts, and all that good stuff. Y'all have to use these things. They're there for your advantage. It helps. I mean, come on. So anyway, so I picked up some fish. So it was like $4.99. I'm not doing commercials. I'm just saying. So it's like $4.99, and that became dinner. So actually, we put some. Well, actually, I did it, and I suck at, like, filming from the beginning. I'm always like, oh, snap, yeah, I was cooking this. So, because I get caught up in it. I cook, I turn my music on, I go in. So I came home, I threw some red peppers together, some green onions, some white onions, and some pasta mix from brown rice pasta. Put some basil and some tomato sauce in it. Or organic sauce, and yeah, then I grilled the cod on the stove. It was pretty tasty. I think I got a quick little clip of that too. Let's go ahead with that, Jacob. I'm real pissy right now, yo. Like, I have 2 blenders that I use to make my shakes in the freaking morning, and I've had them for years, yes, but literally, they both just blew out. Like, I had 2 because I had one at home. I had a base at home and a base at home.
Okay, that's what they say when they see me on the stage. Putting on the bass like a rave in a rave. So I'm living here right now, like it's my last day. Hey, mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I think they clearly for me. I think they.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, it's like it's real simple. But I'll post the videos later too. You can follow those later as well. But it's real simple. You take that big box of rice or pasta, throw it all in. Really, just mix the stuff together. Like simple meals, but they're good. Like, and still plant-based. So that's how I am maintaining. That's how I'm still able to even have enough strength to be. I'm sure if I wasn't eating a plant-based diet, I wouldn't be here with you guys right now. I'd be showing a rerun or something. No, I'm just joking, really. But no, anyway, I want to get into this breakfast in America, why our time is what it is today. But before we get into the breakfast in America versus everybody else and how we got there, more importantly, how we got there too. So as far as like, let's go to like the hashtag program. Another little entry, right? So I was thinking about, you know, my fit story, my fit journey, and thinking of what happened next. Like, so I go back. My memory is pretty good, especially when I'm in tune with something, right? So today I thought of like I knew last time where I left off with the first entry. So moving to the next one was the first time I ever had to like defend myself as a kid, as like fat kid, right? So this is when I like the first time someone tried to like clown me, or they did, but it was so on after that, right? So I was in like the 4th grade, right? And so 4th grade, and I was on a school bus, right? And it was wintertime, but I still hate wearing coats now, right? So it was wintertime, and I was being bold and went out of the house without a coat on. Had on long sleeves or whatever. So, you know, in the morning time it was a little chilly, but I figured it wasn't like gonna be chilly later on that day. So I'm on the school bus, right? And this kid, and I'm gonna try to find him just so I can laugh at him with this, because he probably doesn't even know this, but he goes, so someone's like, where's your coat? I think one of the neighbors is like, where's your coat? Sid, like, you know, where's your coat? You're supposed to have your coat on. And Daniel Reed was like, she don't need no coat. She got all that insulation. And then all the other kids on the bus was like, oh, like, but then, you know, my neighborhood that I grew up with too, they was like taking up for me, but then at the same time, like, he was a kid that grew up with me too, but you know, kids are cruel. Kids don't give a damn. So he was like, I don't need no insulation. I was like, what? I was like, no, it's on now, right? So the whole day went on. I was mad. I was mad the whole day at school. We got off the school bus, right? Mind you, this kid lived like 4 houses down from me in the neighborhood. Get off the school bus. I was ready. I was like, what did you say earlier? I was like, what did you say earlier on the school bus? He knew what he said. He tried to act like he didn't say it. So it was a big crowd. They knew I was going to do something. So I did. I hit him. And I fought Daniel Reed in the 4th grade because he made a joke about me and my weight. And that was the first time I ever had to defend myself with my weight, right? This was the first time. But it was, yeah, thank you, right? So funny thing, right? I beat him up, right? But then I trip over the strap on my book bag, right? And so for life, I still have this little mark right here on my elbow. Is from fighting Daniel Reed in the 4th grade. So I am still, you know, yeah, still I have a lifetime scar from that, right? From that very first time I had to defend myself. But, you know, it was crazy because I've always had to, like, defend myself, like, one time when I went to a new school, like, but that one time, that was it. No one ever bothered me again for as long as I was in that school. Because they was like, okay, yeah, we'll let her. Yeah, she got that. Okay. So I always thought that was a crazy thing. And like you know, not every time, but, you know, sometimes I look at that scar, I'm like, all that from that. It was a mess. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into this craziness called what our breakfast is. And, you know, people think that just because I'm pescatarian or, you know, vegan people, they think that, like, because we don't eat meat or animal product, that we don't eat and that we don't eat breakfast. Like, so they're always like, well, what do you eat? Like, what do you mean? What do we eat? We eat food. Like, we eat all kinds of food. You guys just, you know, used to eating animal product, right? So animal product or just genetically modified puffs. All right. So let's go ahead and check out breakfast in America right now.
If we weren't so used to it, seeing a whole supermarket aisle full of cereal boxes would be pretty weird. The idea of what constitutes a good breakfast has been manipulated by public relations firms ever since the Kellogg brothers accidentally invented the cornflake in 1894. Even the all-American staple, bacon and eggs, was a pairing that was dreamed up and marketed in the 1920s, when the nephew of Sigmund Freud was hired to increase the demand for bacon. No joke. For many Americans, breakfast is just about fueling up, and so we often wind up eating the same thing day in and day out, making the most important meal of the day the least enjoyable. But there's life beyond the cereal box, and boring platters of bacon and eggs. Leave it to curious chefs to find inspiration in the least inspired mealtime. Boutique bruncheries craft whole menus around reimagined breakfasts, Benedicts, hashes, skillets, griddles, all augmented with deliciously fussy, thoroughly modern twists. These are the kinds of places that make it okay for you to eat a taco at 10 in the morning. So it's no wonder that interest in brunch has been...
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing.
Hey, everybody. So as we're talking about breakfast and breakfast in America, this gentleman, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Ricardo Coleman.
Ricardo Coleman. Use your mic, sir.
Ricardo.
No, you can pick it up.
Okay.
It's not going to bite you.
All right, it's a beautiful mic.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Very stylish mic. I like this.
Yeah, so we're just asking people, asking them, Americans, we're walking around here,
Yes.
and we seem to eat differently from other cultures and other companies, other cultures, other cities, things like that, right?
Exactly.
So do you eat breakfast?
Yes.
You do. And
Yes.
what kind of things do you eat for breakfast?
Well, it depends if I have time. That's a big determinant. So if I have time, I like turkey ham. We'll talk about that, and then eggs. Depending if I have time, or a smoothie, depending on my time. my
Okay, so
if
you have time,
yes.
If you have time, what's an ideal breakfast for you?
Probably something like turkey ham, eggs, and maybe some kind of fruit. So like grapes or
okay,
like I said,
turkey ham.
Yeah,
let's talk about that.
You ever had turkey ham?
No, I've never heard of turkey ham.
Where are you from?
I'm from here. I was born in D.C., raised in Maryland.
That makes me sad. So I was born in Los Angeles, but I grew up in Atlanta. The turkey ham is like, it's like turkey. Everybody likes turkey. And then ham, everybody loves ham. You put them together, like it's like Voltron. It's beautiful.
Like Voltron.
You combine it's something incredible.
So it's just one thing, turkey ham.
Yes, turkey ham. It's ham made out of turkey. But if you got to try it.
It's ham made out of
carries it, and I'll bring some in. If you invite me back.
You know what? I may invite you back, but we'll have a conversation, and then
turkey ham, and then you'll invite me back every time. You'll be like inviting me back like every couple of weeks because you're like, dude, I need some more of the turkey. I'm not gonna tell you where I got it from. You will be inviting me back because you'll be hooked. So
hooked on turkey ham.
I'll give you the first sample for free. You know what they do, and then once you're hooked, then you bring me back on and get some more turkey ham. So.
Okay, so listen, right? This is so funny. It's very ironic. Okay, so I'm actually a pescatarian. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. So it's like I'm a vegan, but I eat seafood.
Okay.
Right? So I don't eat red meat, pork. I don't eat animal products. Okay, right?
So I guess turkey doesn't qualify.
Yeah, turkey doesn't qualify. Ham doesn't qualify.
Well, how about your producer? What's your name?
So Jacob is actually a pescatarian as well.
Okay.
Or he was. Yes. Yes.
So what about turkey? Are you good with that or?
Now I am.
Yeah. See. Okay. So he knows. He knows what's up.
Okay. So he knows. He knows what's up.
He knows what's up.
So actually, you are just an impromptu guest on the Higgins Fitness and More show.
Literally while I was walking by.
Literally, he was walking in. That's the perks of sitting here at the desk because the door is right by it, right? So we're utilizing that today. Normally, I sit over there, but today I'm not feeling that well, so I was like, I'm gonna take a seat on the couch.
Cool. It's like, the People's Radio Station. I love this.
Yeah, you were right here, exactly, because this is what it's about, right?
Exactly.
So I got into this because I lost 120 pounds, and I've kind of switched that over. Kind of understood the importance behind nutrition and plant-based living and things of that nature, right? So we will talk, and we'll have you back on too. And as some months, it's like
turkey ham. That's the thing.
Yeah, we're gonna have you watch some episodes of past shows, and then we're gonna invite you back.
You maybe do a before and after. Is that
this is your before. It just happened right here, guys. How about that?
Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's fun.
Awesome.
All right, cool.
Thank you. We will be in touch. Okay. All right. So that's y'all see it in America. That's what we're used to eating. These types of things right now, and so that's why so many of us are like, well, I don't know what you guys eat. You pescatarians, you vegan people. But in the video that we just saw, breakfast in America, right? The crazy thing is, so I took a look at what I thought was crazy. We looked at the cereals, and then I looked, when you start the research thing, you always kind of like follow the money, if you will, So I'm like, cereals, okay, who's the biggest carrier? Like, okay, Kellogg's has everything. You got cereal, you got Pop-Tarts, you got cereal bars, you got, all those kinds of cookies and cakes and sweets and, why we treat breakfast as dessert. Why do we do that? Like, why do we have to have all this sweet stuff to also go with it, right? Or that can be just breakfast alone, and we have like a whole supply of sugar that we need for our body, a whole daily supply in one setting, and that being breakfast. That's not cool. We need to, we have to kind of retrain our brain to do that. But let's, look at why. So it's crazy. The Kellogg brothers, who are still at the top of the game, almost 100 years later, from making cereal, not making, but inventing cereal. How is that possible? Marketing and supplying people or getting people to think that this is what they need. The crazy thing is, so I looked further into like Kellogg's, and there's the Kellogg's brothers, but I don't want to go too far into that today because it's like super it's so funny, just their lives and the things that they did, how the brothers were so different, but they were all kind of a little, special, if you ask me, right? So let's first, I'm gonna go ahead and show and there's a funny clip of it too from, I think this one, sometimes they do the drunken history. I think this was like the high history or something like that. But take a look at this clip because it kind of sums it up, and we'll talk a little bit more when we get back here.
We're talking about electricity.
No, check it out. Kellogg's cereal.
Kellogg's cereal. This shit,
listen
dude.
to this. This is fucking true. Kellogg's cereal was founded by William Keith Kellogg. You can look this up online.
He married Gladys Keith Kellogg.
Stop making bullshit.
Okay.
Let him do it. Let him do it. Let him do it. 'Cause it has to be real.
It basically, William Keith Kellogg, the man who invented Kellogg's cereal and was the first to massively produce what we now know as like cereal and like basically dried,
dick food.
Breakfast food. Okay, so the guy who made that, he made it to prevent child masturbation.
Well, that didn't work because I'm masturbating all the fucking
Shut the fuck up. Let him tell the story.
So basically, William Keith Kellogg was really religious, and one day he was like, he actually said this. It said this in one of the references of the site that he basically thought masturbation was the worst sin you could commit as a human being, and that it should be prevented. He promoted female circumcision.
What?
Like that.
How does that happen, dude?
You cut off the vagina or something.
How can you cut off a vagina?
You cut off part of their.
It's already cut off.
Cut off their clitoris so it doesn't feel as good.
Yeah, you cut off part of their vagina.
No, dude,
he promoted that.
No.
He thought that by kids having a good breakfast, that would prevent them from masturbating. He basically started his own ministry, kind of, where him and a few other people who had the same beliefs, they came together to preach the same message and basically just promoting against child masturbation. He gave a speech one time and he was seriously like, if you masturbate, you are among the lowest serpents that crawl the earth. Shit. He contacted like some baker, and he gave him the idea. I guess he told the baker, we need something small, like sugary, a good breakfast item that we can make easily and without money. When they designed like the labels for cereal, the original labels for the boxes were really religious and like preachy. I mean, like, he must have gone to like the designer for it and been like, listen man, we're making food to keep kids from being horny. What can we illustrate for that? And so the guy just thought, how about some preachy religious shit? And then they put it on there. And like cereal is cheap to make because like it's puffed up like rice or some like rice cereal, and it's puffed up so it takes up more volume so they can sell more of it but not use as much to make it. And by the way, I'm organizing a boycott against Kmart because they used to sell their Easter candy the day after Easter for half off, but now they changed it to 30% off because they know we'll still buy it. They know we'll still buy it, so it's like, don't go to Kmart anymore and buy anything from there. That's where, I only brought that up because that's where my mom buys the cereal. I don't know. So yeah.
What are you talking about?
And we are back, yes. So as you can see, so to make light of, right, that was super funny to me. However, the idea behind it to begin with, they wanted to retrain people's brain. They wanted people to go to how they viewed breakfast should be. And so there's two main things or two main events that kind of shapes Americans' view on breakfast in this way. One was, of course, the Kellogg's brothers, as we see here, with understanding the business side of it by putting religious scriptures and things like that on the box. That is kind of the way that, again, America was set up to think, right? Put religion in, we got everybody in. It's the right way. So that's the same concept that they did there, right? So they wanted something instant too, something high volume that was still cheap, and something that would have shelf life as well. Like all of those are major things in if you wanted to sell something, especially food. If it's something that you can get in high volume, right, or produce in high volume, stores well, and it's cheap to make or produce, that's something you can sell all day. So from a business aspect, it worked for them. Unfortunately, it's made America the most unhealthy people in the world, especially when it comes to breakfast. So that's one event. So thank the Kellogg's brothers for that. On the other side of that was for the Marines or for the Navy, people on the ships back in the day, right? So in order for them to be able to feed everyone on the ship, they had to think of ways to kind of cut corners, right? To be able to feed everyone. So here came bacon and eggs, right? Bacon and eggs came in. It was cheap. You could kind of store it. The beginning of the refrigerator coming in the 30s and 40s helped that process along. Boom. You want something hot and quick, you got bacon and eggs. You want something quick and cold, you got milk and cereal. Then milk, dairy. So then you have a milk company that then supplies or makes byproducts, right? Because you have a dairy farm, you also have to think, well, what else can I do? Because everything is a money thing with us in America, right? So, well, what do I do with the rest of the time? What do I do with the rest of the machines? What else can I make with this? Here we go. So this is why when people say, vegans, what do you eat for breakfast? I'm just like, oh, my gosh. Food. I eat food. I eat fruits. I eat vegetables. I eat smoothies. I eat grains. I eat bread that's made with seeds and sprouts, not animal product, right? That don't have long shelf life, so you have to put it in the refrigerator. You know what I mean? So we eat. There are pancakes. Pancakes are a bunch of freaking chemicals, right? But then they also have vegan pancakes. Not as much chemicals, not as much, not the same process at all, right? Tastes totally different, There are things out there. Y'all just gotta get with it. It's really retrain your brain. Dairy products, donuts. I mean, and let me just not even get on donuts because I'm going to say, and it had me hooked, like I said, I'm not getting on people because, we're doing things incorrectly. I had a donut, I'm going to tell you, at the store, and they brought them in fresh every day, and it was like, why did I even discover that in my life? I should have never even have gone there, right? And so I had to wean myself off. Well, let me just be honest. The only reason why I stopped is that was where I lived there, and they don't have those out here. So by default, I got out of that one, okay? But I'm serious. And then you got these places like Krispy Kreme. If you ride down the street and that damn light's on, people can make you have a damn accident and be turn around, the light's on. It's a serious issue. Right? But then we have that diabetes. We have the high blood pressure. We wondering why we can't go as we used to when we were young, and we're blaming it on us being old. It's not old. Okay? It's not age, rather. It's what we're doing to our bodies on a daily basis. Remember, those things that we put into our body, and I always refer back to the first couple of shows when I tell you guys that the main thing is when we're eating these, we're ingesting these things, okay, sugars and these chemicals. These are the things that are supposed to help rebuild our cells, right? These are the things that run through our blood to make everything continue to work. So if we're putting in things that have no nutritional value, are only chemically based, we are then still starving ourselves. We're running while we're overeating is because our bodies are saying we're still not getting what we need, right? So crazy thing, there was an episode on My 600-Pound Life, right? So clearly the lady was over 600 pounds, right? So they got her into how they do their process. They got her into the hospital, and they started running tests, you know, after they weigh her. And even and her diet mainly consists of carry-out food, you know, high sugary breakfasts, donuts. She liked pancakes, she liked bacon and eggs, things like that, right? These are what her diet consists of. But even at 650 pounds, they had to admit her to the hospital immediately. Not so much because of her weight. Check this out. She was still malnutrition, right? Or she was suffering from malnourishment. She was still not getting her body the things that it needed. So even though she had all that weight, even though she was eating all that food, you know, she still wasn't getting what she needed. So the body is still going to cry out in a way that is saying, feed me what I need. Then, but you put the chemicals in you, and your chemicals are saying, feed me the chemicals because I need them to survive in your body. If we start weaning off the chemicals, flushing out little by little, you can take your steps with this. This is not a big, you know, you have to change your whole life overnight. Okay, so one of the things, and we're going to talk about, buddy, is this turkey ham situation. So that screams to me, they've taken a turkey and a pig and somehow combined this thing and made it turkey ham. So that screams to me. Yeah, like it's it. So it's just turkey. Yeah. It's just turkey, but it looks like ham. That screams genetic modification to me. That screams high sodium to me because they got to preserve it. That screams how much of a process did that go through to get it. And I'm not picking on you, you know, because this is how they tell us to think, you know. But if we really start thinking about it, it's like, wait, you want me to believe what? You know? Because can you imagine a turkey ham running around? But somehow it sounds good because, and then, okay, so here's the flip side to that, right? Because it is just turkey, right? So people then are feeling what? They feel, thank you. They feel good about themselves because they feel that I'm not eating ham, it's just turkey. So it's like the lesser of the two evils. Still evil. It's like saying you want the chair or lethal injection.
Cigarettes?
Or cigarettes. Yeah, for life. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, one of those, you know. So again, I'm not picking on you. It's really how we are trained to think. And we all suffer from it. I suffer from years saying, "Hey, I don't eat beef or pork," right? Yeah, I mean, since I was in high school up until 6 months ago, I don't eat beef or pork. I'm good. Still overweight. I still had inflammation in certain, you know, when I was training heavily, my bones still, you know, it still took me longer to recover. I still hit plateaus. I still, you know, had stomach issues and thinking I needed high protein everything, and, you know, had my digestive issues going on and all that. So, you know, I'm just saying this by example, this is what's going on, and this is the thing. These are the things that train our brain. I mean, you think real quick, I need something to eat. You go in a store, you pick up a coffee and a donut, right? It's something sweet on top of something sweet. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, then maybe I'll throw in some fruit. Okay. Almost. We're getting there. You know, so we gotta think about it in another way, because the breakfast is what feeds us our whole day. And some people, you know, we've also been trained that you have to have breakfast as soon as you get up. You know, everybody's different. You know, depending on what your day is like, I'm never hungry as soon as I get up. You know, and some people are, but some people are because they eat so much right before they go to sleep. You know, so then you wake up, you're hungry because your body has done your body burns so much at night while you're sleeping, you know, at rest. Your body is burning more fat than it is pretty much all day for the most part. So, you know, you guys want to think about that. So if you're eating real heavy at night and you're trying to lose weight, is that helping it? No. Right. But you don't want to starve yourself during the day. So if you know you have a busier day in the day, then definitely fuel up. You know, you have to eat according to your physical activity level. You have to eat according to your body type. You also have to eat according to your blood type if you know that information, you know. But all those things help because we are all different, and that's just how it is. Like, there's no cookie cutter way to this, but you do need to eat and feed your body throughout the day, and that's just a no-brainer, right? But we have to think about this. If all the other countries are looking at us like, what the hell is wrong with the Americans? Why are they over there, you know, obese, they're all fat, they're all lazy, blah, blah, blah. You know, so the same thing is even for the kids. Kellogg's got you with Pop-Tarts. You know, they got all of that stuff. Like, it's never ending. If you think about your breakfast and think about the company that owns it probably goes to Kellogg's or Quaker or one of those and they were around at the same time starting up with similar methods. So, you know, you think about all of that. This is crazy. It's crazy how we've been taught to think, but we give this to our kids. Our kids go to school. They're acting up. You know, we wonder why they can't calm down and get focused, and we got to work on little Johnny's behavior. You know, little Johnny just really doesn't know how to get himself together when he goes to school in the morning. But you just giving little Johnny 2 Pop-Tarts, some juice with some high fructose corn syrup and all that extra sugar. And you probably giving him another kind of high sugar or high fructose corn syrup snack. It's what it is, right? And then we expect the best out of little Johnny. Little Johnny's like, you just gave me this shit, and I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, come on. What did little Johnny can't sit down? I mean, same thing. Come on, the teenager, you do that to him too. He go outside, you know, he go to the bus stop, he ready to fight somebody. 6:30 in the morning. What the hell? You know what I mean? I mean, come on. It all means something, guys. We have to put in our bodies. And I'm going to say this on closing. And you know who got it right? And I'm so awesome. I am so awesome, but I'm so happy about it. It's like even freaking like the Black Panther, right? Think about it. In order for him to get his strength and everything, he had to do what? Had to get that plant. He had to get that plant in him, boy. Come on. That gave him his power. Come on, man. Y'all better get it together and get that plant in y'all. That's what y'all need to do, and that's what I'm leaving y'all on this week. Get that plant in you. I'm going to see y'all next week with some new stuff, all right? Good breakfast, please.
Fresh, break down. Everybody know what I'm trying to do now. Hold it down for my hometown. Profound when it comes to doing me because I do it easily and it pleases me. How? So focused, mind open. But hope, I'm in with a motive, soaking in a depth of my own ocean, hoping that the whole world gets a notion. I've been waiting for this minute for a minute, now I got it out my golf in a moment. Size mode, can't sugarcoat it. Beast mode, can't control it. Hold up, if you're looking for me right here, with a pen in my hand to make it all clear that I gotta do it bigger and better and piecing the puzzle together for the people that never have let up. So fed up with the bullshit, me too. Like the world got a vendetta against you. Ain't no superhero coming for the rescue unless you ask me to do it, then I bless you. But wait, never too late. Take a deep breath, let it all marinate because the second that I do, I embrace my fate and I gotta make a move because I am that great. All I want is all of y'all to ponder. A better man willing to take his dream farther, but all the other didn't even try to bother. Start up the engine until we be started. Pardon me, moment doesn't happen often, so while we here, let's enjoy it and applaud it. Take a second before the night becomes morning and tell those in the trust I hear them calling. Mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I think they ready for me. I think they calling for me. I think they waiting for me. I hear them calling. I hear them calling for me. Mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I hear them calling. I remember when my days were so unsure, not knowing what I'm living on this earth for. bus stop scared cause he fears that he's near to a gun pop. Headphones in his head disappears from this world for your peers in the realm of the hip hop. Just watch how we turn his whole life around. When everybody tried to tell him he was hellbound, but he smiles now, knowing he's the reason for the powwow. Bow down to the brother on the cloud. Okay, that's what they say when they see me on the stage. Hitting on the page, take a rave in the rage. So I'm living here right now, like it's my last day. Hey, mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I think they ready for me. I think they calling for me. I think they waiting for me. I hear them calling. I hear them calling for me. Break down, down, down. Oh no, oh no. Break down, down, down. Oh no, oh no. Mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I think they ready for me. I think they calling for me. I think they waiting for me. I hear them calling. I hear them calling for me. Mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I hear they calling. Mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I think they waiting for me. I think they calling for me. I hear them calling for me. I hear them calling. I hear them calling.